Welcome to Solutions for Life, your weekly radio source on pain management and healing. Join us now with your questions on our toll-free lines at 877-956-9566. That's 877-956-9566. Now, here's your host, Lou Paradise.
Welcome, 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 beautiful people out there in the world. We know that there is a lot of life going on. We know that for sure because I've got a lot of friends who call us not only just on the air when we're on once a week, and again, of course, Solutions for Life, Lou Paradise. I'm your show host, and I have 25 years of experience in products that are actually in the marketplace, natural medicines. We are pioneers, actually, of bioenergy, topically applied medicines, and our homeopathic Topperson pain relief and healing products, along with our My Pain Away products. I've been revolutionizing for the last 22 years for doctors and patients to really help to provide a tool that actually deals with the cause of pain, not the symptoms of the pain. And although our products are topical, I said, Lou, man, you have me interested. And she said, topical. I use all of those, and man, they don't work. And unfortunately, that same old camphor or eucalyptus or wintergreen or methyl salicylate, menthol, capsaicin, all of those deadening agents only help to maybe temporarily relieve pain by nullifying the skin receptor, which picks up the pain signal and delivers you the idea that, hey, I need some help over here. I need some things to occur for me to fix the damage that's causing your problem. And a lot of people don't know the mechanism and all that. That's what you find out on this show. So our show, and having over 45 years of research experience in natural medicines, gives me a great advantage, and also being an expert at work-related injury, sports-related injury, and we have a lot of folks who are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And man, ladies and gentlemen, if you are any of those people out there who are sick and tired of being sick and tired, pills everywhere, no relief in sight, there's a reason why pills unfortunately don't work and/or cause complications worse than the pain you were trying to treat. And one of the things that's probably most important, if you or somebody you love has any of these following ailments and/or addiction to opiate medicine, we can help you unravel how to go back to the doctor and pharmacist to get out of this trouble you're in. And I know that a lot of folks feeling pretty depressed and frustrated when you should be enjoying your life. You weren't born to be in pain. And or somebody says, oh, no, I'm sorry, you have to live in that pain, and you have to suffer the consequences of oral pain medicines, all kinds, including the popular OTC medicine that you can get right off the counter in the drugstore, and or the restricted that goes on in terms of what happens in medicine, that is the process of opiate production into things like Vicodin, Oxy, Percocet, Loracet, all those kinds of medicines. And a lot of folks have real problems not only taking them because they irritate you so much, but the addiction that follows is devastating. And we know that, again, you were meant to live your life joyously. God didn't make your life to be imperfect and or live in pain. And if somebody told you, I'm sorry, there's no more we can do, you have to live in pain, that is not the truth. So if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you're addicted to pain meds and don't like it, you want to figure a better way to be able to say, how can I handle this? What can you do to help me, Lou? And that's something I love to do. So feeling depressed, not getting better, and if you're suffering and or somebody you love suffering from arthritis or lower back, neck and shoulder pain, neuropathies, boy, oh boy, neuropathic nerve pain, burning pain, feet, hands, diabetic neuropathy, chemo-induced neuropathy, fibromyalgia, restless leg syndrome, foot ailments like plantar fasciitis or Achilles tendonitis, arch pain, heel pain. Well, goodness gracious, you have come to the right place, because this program is not my program, even though I'm the host, and I'm very proud that our Topical Biomedics, the distributor of our Topperson Pain Relief and Healing Creams, is the author and the sponsor, I should say, not the author, but the sponsor of our program. But this show is for you. And that's why we take live calls throughout the hour. We're only on this fabulous Sirius XM Family Talk 131 once a week between 4 and 5 on Saturday, just like now. So this is a live show. So if you want to call in and ask any questions whatsoever about pain-related ailments, you have any neuropathic pain, you have problems with your feet, you have problems with your back, you have neck and shoulder pain, you have arthritis, whatever it may be, The one thing about the program, of course, is not should be not construed to be something in place of professional health care, because you know that your doctor, and depending on the doctors you choose, will make it easier for you to get to the answer you need. But this is an educational forum, and I work with lots and lots of doctors for over 22 years in every specialty you could imagine. So every condition that we know for sure that exists, there's a reason to unravel or be able to unravel it. And most of the folks today don't know how to get that done. And unfortunately, a lot of doctors, most doctors go to school to help people. They went to medical school to slug it out for many, many years to come out and really help people. But if they're only trained in 4 months in pharmaceuticals and 4 hours in nutrition, that's a hard gig to be able to give you the other information you need. We got a lot of progressive medical doctors, men and women, nurses, physical and occupational therapists. And then we got a whole ton of people in all these specialties that can be of value if you can help them actually do a better job. How's that? See, that relationship between the doctor and the patient is so important. Look, we cannot know so much coming out of school that we don't ever have to learn another thing, and to be sure. I sit on a lot of panels talking to doctors about treatment protocol. I was in the Marine Corps. You might want to know that. Marine Corps combat veteran. Marine Corps birthday was November 10th, just a week or so ago. And I know something about fighting the good fight. Fighting for people who can't stand up for themselves, fighting for people's rights to know the information, stomping out the injustice of not knowing the information, and being able to get on board and help you for real with what we can do to see a life transformed. This isn't because the stuff we're talking about in terms of our products are miracles. The body is the miracle. The miracle of healing is more powerful than all the opiate medicine on the planet Earth. And when folks understand how to get that back to normal, all of a sudden, your pain starts to diminish, and for the most part, it never comes back the way it was, that gnarly, biting kind of pain that you definitely don't want, that keeps you on that pill, hopping those and popping those pills every few hours, and you hate it because it's not good for you. Well, you've come to the right place. So if you need give me a call today, Lou Paradise, Solutions for Life, you could do that at 877-956 9566. Again, 877-956-9566 for any questions you have about pain-related ailments, any way, manner, shape, or form. And folks out there who may have been using our products and got some great stories to tell, and or folks who are needing to know more information about what we could do to help you, we are here to do that. Me, myself, and I, of course, today. And I got to give a shout-out to the fabulous, the famous Dr. Sean Young, who's back from Alabama, Whole Foods, it's the Food Championship deal, this just like big show, and came back to the studio to help Lou get this radio. Because if it wasn't for Sean, it wasn't for the folks at the studio, I don't care who the host, could be the greatest host in the world, can't get you any information because they can't get on the line saying, hey, how are you? So anyway, so thank you, Sean. Nice to have you back, and I appreciate that very much. And we got a caller coming in, it looks like. So we're going to go and see who our caller is here. And, in the meantime, we know that many people have issues that they certainly want to resolve. And I think that more times than not, we go through the process of not knowing how to start. This is the greatest asset I can provide you. So you can have something that is really, really going to be a benefit to you. So it looks like we have Stanley on the line, but we're going to go to our first break. And Stanley, if you can hang out with me for just 30 seconds, we're going to be back with more of the Solutions for Life show and answer any questions you may have in just a few. Thank you.
Do Do you love walking, but your achy, tired feet won't let you? Whether it's plantar fasciitis, arch, heel, or nerve pain, Topperson Foot Therapy Cream's 14 active natural biomedicines helps your body heal damage-causing foot pain. Its odorless, moisturizing, provides rapid, soothing relief. Ideal for diabetic foot pain and will leave your feet feeling silky smooth. Best part is guaranteed to work. Find Topperson Foot Therapy in Walgreens Diabetic section or CVS's Foot section. Topperson Foot Therapy Cream for lasting pain relief guaranteed.
Nice here with you, and it is a beautiful day in the world. Of course, when we're alive and above ground, it's always a beautiful day. And we have Stanley on the phone from Oregon, it looks like. So, Stanley, Lou Paradise, how can I help you today? Thanks for calling.
Yeah, I was calling because I am personally going through some struggles when it comes to sobriety and also just feeling like I'm doing the right thing when it comes to how I go about changing I want to learn how to listen better and not necessarily hear people and kind of repeat back what I'm hearing, just to listen to them. And I don't know sometimes if that has to do with some of the ways I've been kind of supplementing my life with other substances, but I really just would like to work on that, overcoming that, and being a better listener.
You know, one of the things that's powerful is that a lot of folks, you know, listening is a skill, and a lot of times people don't take the time to develop the skill. Nobody gets on, you know, this person is a natural this, that, and the other thing, and a natural salesperson. They're a natural speaker. No such thing. All skills. And you know what? You are not alone. And you know, when you look at what happened to what caused you to be in a substance situation, was it pain to start with, or physical pain, or was it another emotional issue, or what was it that brought you to the point of where you are, kind of like you say, struggling?
I would say it was isolation, not feeling like I had connection, missing that connection.
Gotcha. What about family and friends? How many people are close to you that you admire and respect, and they feel the same way about you?
I have my close family, but not very many. About
Gotcha.
my grandmother, my dad, my mom, and my partner who I'm with.
Mm-hmm. You know, one of the things for sure, Stanley, and think about this. You know, you are one of a kind, my brother. You know, there's nobody quite like you. You know, you. I know a lot of folks struggle with what, you know. There's two times. I don't know who said this, but I believe it's true. There are two times in a person's life that are important: the day they're born, and the day they realize why they're here. And I think that sometimes, right, and sometimes in the struggle is, what am I doing here? You know, how did I get in this space? Because if something of more value isn't filling you up, you know, it's like finding that stuff you love so much to do, you can't wait to go get up in the morning and go do it.
Right.
And, you know, because this substance situations, you know, you need a bigger, better habit to get the other one out of your life. And, you know, and you know, just to know you've not been a good listener, you're saying, you know, and really getting a good reflection. There's a lot of wonderful motivational folks who can, you know, and spiritual individual folks and lessons and stuff, even on CD or DVD for that matter, books to read that have been that are instrumental in helping you tune back into where your peaceful place is. Because once you're out of that, that's where you get into physical trouble. I mean, and you know what? All of us have been there one time or another. Nobody goes out and decides, I'm going to get addicted to stuff. You know, it's like, right, there's a metamorphosis, there's some pain or some issue or some, right? And that conflict within ourselves, that's the one that's always the toughest, because, you know, there you're in battle with yourself. You got that right side of the real righteous person, as opposed to the self-righteous person, who really knows, right, how to draw that line between, hey, look, this is not cool, and this is really cool. You know, and if you take the time just by the nature of you calling, I can't even tell you how much I appreciate your call today. This isn't a typical call for us, but I do this a lot. My attitude about everything is, look, our lives, this is not a dress rehearsal. This is our life, and it's a precious one. I personally believe God Almighty gave us this life every day that we're alive and we're above ground. This is a huge blessing. That we're struggling is not the problem. How to fix what it is that to start, to have a place to start. Getting to that place to start oftentimes is that spiritual enriching part of disconnecting from some of the things that may be leading or lending you to be on the weaker side of who you want to be. Because look, anybody I know named Stanley, I know people named Stanley, they don't put up with nobody's messing.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we lose our way. You know what? That's okay, because everybody been there. That's
right.
The good news. And you're worth life. I can just hear it in your voice that you're somebody who probably loves people and cares about them. And I bet you in your life you're trying to do the right thing with just about everybody you meet.
Correct.
And maybe you're letting the wrong people hang around with you. It's like if you want to get out into that place where you're really on your own level and your own track and your own place and your own heart, your own spirit, you got to disconnect for some folks. That's part of that deal. Because somewhere the things that have happened around you have led you to this substance issue, as you know. And not to take it off you, because you're the one, right? I mean,
right. I take full responsibility, but like you said, I acknowledge that it's going to take some faith, number one, to step
That's
out
right.
on and just trust in the Lord, which I'm willing to do, and I hear you 100%. Is it possible to ask a couple more questions while I have you
sure.
on?
Absolutely.
Okay. My next question would be, I want to make sure I ask the most poignant. I believe I have a calling to help people, and I want to continue to do that. But my goal is to make sure that I'm doing it in a timely manner, and I'm praying and asking God for the right things and for Him to lead me, which I know now, I will be able to. God will guide me in the place that I need to go. I'm trying to have patience when it comes to focusing on what my next step is. I already feel like God has given me my gift to. What I have, the gift I have, but the next step is to kind of put it into practice in a way that gives me that independence, like we just mentioned.
Yeah.
And so I have an idea of what might be for me as far as where you just mentioned, but
sure,
I want to know. I guess I don't always know when, so I want to know when that is. Or when?
I'll tell you.
How will I know?
Well, you know what? You will start feeling at peace when you finally get into your groove, when you finally get the elements that are necessary. And it's a moment at a time sometimes. It's not even a day at a time. It's a moment at a time. It's a moment to be in the now, to say, what do I love about this moment? What can I reflect on? Your own struggle. I'll give you my story just a snap, because so you'll see how it's related. And even though I didn't get any substance abuse, because I don't like pharmaceuticals. So my pain after I was in the Marine Corps, 2 rotations, helicopter combat, medevac rescue missions in Vietnam. So the physical and emotional toll on anybody who's in the combat, who's in a war, is always you just can't judge how and what. You got to really go real deep to clean it up and to make it real. But if I was looking at the physical pain that I had, which was nerve pain, which I never had before, and I wound up making my products to cure my own problem, to help my body cure the problem, my calling came as a result of being in pain and struggling with it, and then having my own solution. The key note in this, Stanley, is that every answer to the most vital questions we'll ever need to know about the most important things in our lives, the most poignant things in our lives, have been locked inside of us before we were born. Because that's how the instrumental part of God's work is always prevalent. Is like we got this whole manuscript of incredible information. When we go off and do our physical things, it kind of puts us off of the door we need to open for all that secret information that only belongs to Stanley. It don't belong to somebody down the street or grandma or anybody, as much as you love them and they love you. And it's starting just that one step. Just that one step is, let me see what I can do about Stanley in the sense of a spiritual understanding, because once you empty yourself out of the things that really have been part of how you got there, you'll be able to finally get that in line and make it serve you and serve your purpose, because you're calling how that's going to roll out in terms of especially coming out of where you are. And it sounds to me you got a whole bunch more sober moments than you do not, man. That's you got some clarity working here, which is a beautiful thing. When you line it up that you are going to be successful at getting rid of the things that have plagued you or have bogged you down, right? You're not going to be a prisoner of that kind of stuff, especially because most of it is of our own doing.
Right.
And then unravel it, right? Get the right help, because what you're articulating, my brother, is the fact that you've got something you're about to break through, and dark forces want to. When you're ready to break through and be done with what it is that caused you to be in a problem or in a state of flux, the dark forces don't like that, because they know that, oh my God, I'll have no more chance to get that guy, and nail him down. But you just get into a group of people. I think you're getting into other enlightened people who can think past where you want to be, and where they are already can be a tremendous help in getting your mind straight and your strength straightened out, so that you're leading in your own place from your own heart. And when God Almighty's there, I mean, like, look, when two or more, are there, talking about the Lord, who's there with us? So the best answer is something in the sense of spiritual togetherness, because that spiritual sense of center is going to make us righteous. Righteous meaning it's going to help us get rid of those weak things, or those things we've done, or those things we've made a mistake on. But you cannot beat yourself up for the mistakes you made. You really have to, right? You have to treat yourself with lots of love, as people would want, because you're going to emerge out of this somebody brand new, who's going to go on, right? And you know what? You're probably closer to it than you realize, Stanley. Seriously.
I would agree. And I appreciate your answer. I have to ask this, because this is just, I don't get these kind of opportunities to talk with someone who can give me the kind of feedback that I really, really, truly need. My last thing is dealing with thoughts, intrusive thoughts, and ones that are very negative, but also I recognize that maybe that these thoughts, like you just mentioned a second ago, are going to be used for a good. And, probably there's other people who, once coming off of substances and stuff like that, they have to deal with the mental part of that choice. And,
absolutely.
The transition back to, who you are is difficult. And
sure. Especially when you want to create a baseline that's now not the one you had.
Exactly.
Right? It's and the one thing you take every time a negative. Remember, negative things are just positive things waiting to happen.
Exactly.
All we got to do is right, and because that's the power of the good over bad, the good over evil, the good karma over bad karma. And once you replace those thoughts, you see, if you say, wait a minute, that thought's coming in there. You're not allowed in my heart and my head. Get out, because I got this positive thing. So make enough positive affirmations for yourself. We're going to be going to a break soon, but Stanley, I could tell you, just tell by your nature, you're not struggling. You may be still fighting the fight because you want to get on the other side, but you're going to get there just by the nature of being the kind of amazing person that you are, and you just have to treat yourself that way. Love yourself more, my brother, and then the rest will come. You really do. And hey, look, and I appreciate you calling. This is I do a lot of stuff, and this is one of those beautiful calls that I don't get all the time, and I'm so humbled and honored to be of service for you today, Stanley. You go off and you do your thing. Keep me posted and let me know how you're doing out there.
All right, and you come on this channel every this time?
Yes, this time every Saturday. Yes.
Okay, great.
Let me know.
So
All right, brother. You take good care. Okay, we'll be back with Blue Paradise, Solutions for Life, and more of anything you have on your mind, folks, in just a few.
Welcome back to Solutions for Life. We're here to take your calls toll free at 877-956-9566. Now, back to your host, Lou Paradise.
Welcome back to the program, ladies and gentlemen. And again, one of the things that happens in our lives is that, being able to find somebody to just to speak to, just to talk to, have Stanley on. We know that our calls are usually about specific pain, backache, back pain, sciatica, restless leg syndrome, folks with arthritis, folks with diabetic neuropathy, chemo-induced neuropathy, plantar fasciitis, miserable stuff, all kinds of neuropathies, fibromyalgia, big thing. And But isn't it cool that we have the same, sense of center for us to, to be of value? And Stanley, I can't thank you enough for your call today because, sometimes you think you're getting something that's enlightenment from someone else when they may be getting enlightenment from you. And anybody hearing the discussion, of people being in pain in one way or the other, people having struggles. And, in this day and age, with all the craziness going out there in the political world, Lord have mercy on our soul. It's no wonder why folks are stressed and have weak moments. People, it's the same kind of thing that really good people wind up in bad situations. And as brothers and sisters, for sure, in understanding and my personal belief, and I can't, put that on anybody else, but my personal belief in a God-centered life is not because to be cool. It's like it's the most powerful thing that we could have possibly even comprehend, let alone imagine, because unless you don't think it's important that whoever made the universe, right? Who made the universe? The Lord God Almighty. So I got to think you might want to, I'm Italian from New York, so I might be a little slow, but I'm saying, whoa, wait a minute. I better pay attention right there and then. And all I know for sure is that when we could share some information on this show, it helps lots of people with questions. So if you're somebody with arthritis or lower back pain, you're somebody with neck and shoulder pain or any kind of neuropathy, especially diabetic neuropathy, chemo-induced neuropathy, fibromyalgia, restless leg syndrome, you've got plantar fasciitis, whatever it may be, and you want to share your experience and or share some information on things that have helped you, let alone wanting some help, you're always welcome to call 877-956 9566, 877-956-9566. The body's ability to heal itself is such a powerful, powerful thing. And when I say this on a regular basis, and or for people first hearing the show, you might not know this is Lou Paradise. The product show or the show is Solutions for Life. It is sponsored by Topical Biomedics, who brings you Topricin pain relief and healing creams, the only patented healing technology in the country. So it's very different. Bioenergy medicines topically applied that get results because we deal with the cause of pain for 22 years, and our company is changing the way that doctors diagnose and treat pain because we're finally looking at the cellular reason why the pain is there. So whether it be our Topricin original formulation, which is what was the first product out in the marketplace 22 years ago, every doctor who used it, we started with stroke patients, people with trauma injury, spinal cord injury, head trauma injury, semi-comatose. The products are fortified medicines. These are all natural homeopathic medicines. 15 of the different variations of medicines, which led me to the 11 in this particular formulation. And we've been at this 22 years. So the body's ability to heal itself is where pain is either engaged and or relieved. The medicines in themselves only support one thing, helping the body's chemistries for healing to get to that point. This does not treat conditions or diseases. So we don't talk about arthritis except for the pain associated with. There are 100 different forms of arthritis. It's really important to find out which one you have so you just don't start self-treating yourself because you can wind up in a situation where you're not helping. It's one of the reasons why if you're taking prescription medication, you should always go to your healthcare provider or your pharmacist before you do self-help, especially internally taking things. There are a lot of herbal compounds out there, very good under lots of circumstances, but if you're taking prescription drugs, you cannot just go ahead arbitrarily to do that. You might take too much of a specific vitamin and mineral without realizing it. A lot of folks don't know this, and wash out other nutrients. So it's really important to make sure you go back to your healthcare provider before you do any self-help. That's why on this program, we do lots of educational forums because that's what it is, but it's not a substitute for professional care. And it's one of the reasons why doctors and patients trust what we do. I've been working with doctors and patients for over 22 years with our products, that we demonstrate with our original formulation, the many uses for it, because it's topically applied. We're not taking anything eternal here, but it's not menthol, camphor, eucalyptus, wintergreen, methyl salicylate, or capsaicin, which unfortunately may be marginalized in terms of how they would work, if they work at all, because those products don't work for the tougher kinds of pain. But pain as a general part of the life that we live is not necessarily a natural thing. It's not necessarily a natural byproduct of aging. A lot of the things that happen in our diet or the things that we're consuming, the lack of hydration, getting a proper amount of fluid in your body, can also be causing your dilemma. A lot of times these are more responsible for the kind of pain you have. Injuries, different story. You get conditions like arthritis because you may be eating an inflammatory diet. So knowing something and being able to work with your healthcare provider is the best way that you have the best of both worlds, because that's how we all find the most important way of resolving lots of pain issues, because we're getting the diagnosis, very important, you're getting the diagnosis to tell you where your pain is coming from. The problem with most oral medicines is they are toxic and they can cause side effects. They could be beneficial to some degree, but if you're taking oral pain meds, I mean, you take a look at what's happening in terms of the FDA's regulations on things like ibuprofen products or acetaminophen products or naproxen products, and that would be Advil, Motrin, Aleve, Tylenol products, for just as a reference. Well, these kinds of chemicals are known to cause issues like increased risk of blood pressure increasing, increased risk of heart attack and stroke, believe it or not. You have to go and read real carefully what you're taking to be aware of it. This shouldn't be, I'm not doing anything to alarm you. I'm doing something to make you aware. Because when we don't know what we don't know, this could damage us. Organ damage is something very common with a lot of oral painkillers, especially the over-the-counter ones. Then if you go back up to the opiate painkillers and you look at Percocet, Loracet, Oxyvicodin, and a ton of others, Hydro and fentanyl. I don't know how these products would even be prescription products, honestly, because they're that dangerous. The weird part about it, these were never meant to be taken for daily kind of or common pain issues. So if you got a lower back problem and a sciatic, you may want to try, massage. You may want to try acupuncture or chiropractic care or physical therapy, and any one of those. And doctors who are progressive are starting to understand that's what we want to do. We want to say, look, wait a minute, let's drill down further on a more conventional and conservative way of looking at pain so that we're actually looking at what's causing the issue. And if we have then products that actually help the cells to repair, because that's what the body is doing, not products. So our homeopathic topical creams, Topricin, they're beautiful, gentle. They've got a combination of medicines. They're very luxurious feeling on the skin, and they help to resolve issues like joint-related, nerve-related, and muscle-related pain, but not because they have any pain relievers in them. All they're doing is balancing the body's healing or helping the body to get to that balanced healing. That's where all the work's done. It's the body that's the miracle. It's the body that's the cure, not products. I don't care whose they are. And when we look at our original product where we tested it within the framework of the medical community, it was really quite refreshing, satisfying, and heartwarming to see that there's a real before and after approach. As natural medicines, as much as, a good deal of natural things may be kind of controversial, including homeopathy in a sense, that doesn't mean that it does not work. What it does mean is you have to be smart to think about what kind of things you need to do to help yourself through this process by getting the right information so that you've got the best game plan, the best blueprint for you. And that's what our show has always been about. So we know that we're going to be coming to one of our final breaks, actually, in just a few seconds here. I think we got about 30 going, Dr. Young. What do we got there? Well, we're 23 seconds. So if you got any questions whatsoever about pain in any kind, arthritis, lower back, carpal tunnel, restless leg syndrome, give us a call, 877-956-9566. Lou Paradise, Solutions for Life. We'll be back with you in just a few.
Do you love walking, but your achy, tired feet won't let you? Whether it's plantar fasciitis, arch, heel, or nerve pain, Toppers and Foot Therapy Cream's 14 active natural biomedicines helps your body heal damage-causing foot pain. It's odorless, moisturizing, provides rapid soothing relief, ideal for diabetic foot pain, and will leave your feet feeling silky smooth. Best part is guaranteed to work. Find Toppers and Foot Therapy in Walgreens Diabetic section or CVS's Foot section. Toppers and Foot Therapy Cream for lasting pain relief guaranteed.
Welcome back to the program, ladies and gentlemen. Lou Paradise, Solutions for Life. And, one of the things for sure, we're coming up to a week where a lot of folks are busy during this weekend, I'm sure. Doing what? You know it. Shopping for Thanksgiving. One of the things that I am most thankful for is the ability to be healthy enough and vibrant enough and to have learned enough to bring a program like this to people that are in pain. And the unraveling part of a centerpiece as to what we do to help each other is the key cornerstone of the one factor that is most important. How many people feel so distressed, so depressed, the pain is still raging, I'm taking these pain meds, doesn't seem to help me, my doctor said that's all I can do to help you for the moment, and we don't find out anything else about what we can do to be of value to our own part of what we're in charge of in our part of our own ability to be part of the healthcare system for us. We don't have a healthcare system, folks. We have a sick care system. Our emergency medicine is the best on the planet, but it is not sustainable. We don't look at prevention as we should, as this buzzword when election years come around. Let's look at more prevention. Let's look at more holistic. Let's look at more wellness, as if it's some kind of little tag that we can talk about every few months or every couple of years, as opposed to a way of life. What I do know is that everyone deserves to live a life with less stress, which causes pain, by the way, and less pain, which sometimes causes stress, and to be able to do that with the engagement of you doing the things you love doing with the people you love. The problem is, if you're in pain and you're taking medication, it's going to bog and toxify your system internally. The microcirculation, 74% of the body's total circulatory activity. It's required. It's the workhorse that delivers every oxygen and nutrient molecule to the cells to keep the cells healthy. When we take pain medicine, especially we've talked about acetaminophen products, ibuprofen products, naproxen products, over-the-counter stuff, right? The toxic nature of these nullifies, if they work, the pain receptor by helping to reduce inflammation. Acetaminophen doesn't do that at all, by the way. Tylenol doesn't work that way. But the other three do, Advil, Motrin, and Aleve. The problem is that the toxicity that the medicines cause, and this is well-documented facts in kidney damage and liver damage and gastrointestinal damage, and on the acetaminophen side, which is in Tylenol and about 400 or 500 cold and flu products. This is why you really need to pay attention to this one. All you got to do is go and look it up about acetaminophen is the leading chemical cause of liver failure in the United States of America. So when you're toxifying your organs and your microcapillaries and the microcirculation is bogged down with toxicity, your whole cardiovascular system, your whole recovery system is bogged down also, because it's trying, the body has its healing energy and is only a certain amount each and every day through the mitochondria. In order for the body to heal itself, it's got a certain amount of energy to do that. Well, it's going to abandon fixing some of the cells that are damaged because it's now chasing these toxins around that you just put in there by taking oral pain meds. Here's the real challenge, the real problem. None of those products have any curative power whatsoever. If you took if you took any one of those every 6 months, once every 6 months, is that going to be a problem? For some folks, that actually can cause problems, believe it or not. But that's not what we do here. We never find out what's causing the pain. Oh yeah, well you have arthritis. Well, that isn't only what is causing the pain. So the arthritis causes the inflammation response, right? The inflammation and excess fluids suppress and restrict your capillaries. The capillaries can't deliver oxygen and nutrients to the cells, and there's the pain signal telling us that, saying, hey, I need more oxygen, I need more nutrients, I need to get rid of these waste byproducts, but the whole thing is bogged down. Now you're putting the chemicals in there. I got to take the energy I was using to try to fix that, and I got to go chase that down through the liver and kidneys and all the gastrointestinal tracts so we don't have damage there. You're getting your mind around this is now, whoa, how many people don't know that? So because we take the pills, they must be safe because we just bought them from the pharmacy, right? Well, that's not true. And what's most essential is lots of other things can be of value to us, even if there wasn't an opiate addiction that is considered the defining drug problem in the United States of America. And the good news, we can do something about it. So it's not, oh my God, doom and gloom. The good news is we can do something about it. And that's the reason why we always love having the opportunity to talk to you. And so our topical products, Topperson Pain Relief and Healing products, have been in the marketplace for 22 years, helping the body do what I just described, helping the body rid itself of some of the excess toxins and fluids so the capillaries can get oxygen and nutrients back into the cells. There's no magic in the formulations. The body is the magic, if you will. The body is the miracle. And I know for sure that when we give it the opportunity to be the miracle it is, then we don't have to use those kinds of meds that don't help us, or help us temporarily, but we got to take them every single day. And guess what happens? You cross over that line between the therapeutic value of over-the-counter pain pills and the harmful side effects they can cause, which is incredibly well documented. And so that's the reason why we love having the opportunity to speak to you. Now, it looks like, Dr. Young, we got somebody in the queue there, but I can't seem to see who that might be that's calling in. And because we only have, what the heck we got here left? 55 or 5 minutes, 3 minutes or so. What do we have? Bob from Massachusetts? Yeah. Hey, Bob, good afternoon. Lou Paradise. I don't know we're going to have a whole bunch of time here, but how can I help?
Well, I have a dear friend who misbehaved with a young lady, and the young lady gave him herpes 1.
Oh, my goodness.
He said that he found a book that cost him $67 that laid out a very specific diet along with supplements that gave him a money-back guarantee that it would rid him of the herpes virus. Is he just, looking for a pipe dream, or is this actually a possibility?
I'll tell you, and these are all the reasons why we should be extra, not careful, methodical. How do we, line up to where we have somebody who we're affectionate with? Where's the relationship, the validity of the relationship? This is, and this, unfortunately, a lot of STDs happen more often than not because people are just not being careful at all.
Certainly.
Now, one of the things about the herpes zoster and the chickenpox virus, it's really interesting. L-lysine, which is an amino acid, is when we look at it on the flip side, similar characteristic patterns of this pathogen that causes shingles, and cold sores when these are tame ones when it's done on the genitalia is not. I mean that is serious. L-lysine is one of those that can actually help, and what the theory is that it seems to poke a hole in that particular virus and even bacteria from what we see. We have a lot of people have tremendous opportunity with that and B-complex vitamins together in order to bring about a simpler nutritional way of looking at how do we deal with the virus, how do we deal with the zoster, and that would be one thing that does have an effect. But I know that there are a lot of folks out there who are getting holistic treatments getting a liver detoxification treatments, simple things, not crazy stuff, that detoxifies the body, which can ultimately help with the body's ability to fight these kinds of pathogens. So that is possible. It is not something that oftentimes happens overnight, like the fact that this obviously happened overnight with how he got this thing, but it can indeed be done. And yeah, so I would encourage him to look further. But there are ways that naturally you can do things. And working with practitioners, there's a lot of doctors now who are specializing in especially immunology. They are specializing in looking at these kinds of issues and helping their patients with the appropriate treatment protocol.
Well, it said it's a 21-day regimen. And in the book said if you follow this strictly, I'm paraphrasing, of course, but it told him that if he followed it strictly, that he would be able to rid his body of this virus. And I just hope he wasn't taken for a sucker. I mean, I don't know. Have a dog in his race. I just feel badly for him, and
I know
praying for him. But
absolutely. And you know what? The two things that are pronounced in this that are really important, and you said both of them. It's going to take time, and it's going to be discipline. In natural things, that's the problem. Most people take natural things, that didn't help me, because they're not taking them disciplined enough. They're not really looking at the hydration, how to detoxify your body, changing your diet, getting all the inflammatory stuff out of your food, white refined sugar, flour, that it all has an effect of suppressing your body's natural ability to have these kinds of killers, T cells, and everything else that really mount up, and specific targeting of pathogens like this. So that is absolutely a fact. Got to be very disciplined, and it's going to take time. Those are absolutely true. I don't like people just arbitrarily doing stuff. So there are some books out there that are really well laid out. I'm not familiar with this one, but I am familiar with the fact that I know people have had the success they're looking for, even in these kinds of areas, but you got to do it right. And, and including a medical diagnostic, so for blood work and the rest, that can be of value. And there are a bunch of great integrative doctors out there who are doing wonderful work in this area. So, it's like,
what I hear you saying is it is possible for him to overcome this herpes 1, whatever it's called. That is a possibility.
That's a possibility, like everything else, because the body's the miracle here. But being smart about it, not just letting some charlatans take you over the hurdles. I guarantee. Well, where's the guarantee when you say, oh, well, we're out of business. We're out of business. Your $67 went down the tubes. But this particular area, I know for sure there are absolute regimens that can be a benefit. So yeah, Bob, that would be something I could confirm. At least that, not a cure, but that certainly has been a help to a lot of folks.
I'm witnessing to this guy. Is there if I can get him to go to your website, is there anything on there that may address something like this?
You know what? You have him go to our website, top4pain.com. Because we do have a lot of products in there that have relevant nature of what they can do from a topical point of view, but we don't specifically address this issue, no.
Okay. All right. I can't tell you how grateful I am that you took the time to talk to me.
Bob, we're both grateful, because when two or more gather in his name, you know who's there with us, right, brother? You have a great day, buddy. Take good care. Happy Thanksgiving.
Do you love walking, but your achy, tired feet won't let you? Whether it's plantar fasciitis, arch, heel, or nerve pain, Toppers and Foot Therapy Cream's 14 active natural biomedicines helps your body heal damage-causing foot pain. Its odorless, moisturizing, provides rapid, soothing relief. Ideal for diabetic foot pain and will leave your feet feeling silky smooth. Best part is guaranteed to work. Find Toppers and Foot Therapy in Walgreens Diabetic section or CVS's Foot section. Toppers and Foot Therapy Cream for lasting pain relief guaranteed.